Honesty. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. Albert Einstein. Mendacity is the master of the politician, the skill set of the liar. Honesty need not be cruel if done gently and tactfully. Honesty with tact and honor is an art that can be learned, but first it must be understood. An attitude of honesty incorporates several aspects of behavior, including adherence to facts, straightforwardness, sincerity, and respect. The 12-step programs speak of honesty and encourage personal introspection to discover why one indulges in the addicting substance. How does such personal honesty apply to addiction? Honesty implies being free of deceit, being trustworthy. Why is dishonesty so prevalent? Because it serves to shield one from perceived pain, such as jealousy, hurt feelings, rejection, or embarrassment. But where one may avert a problem with momentary dishonesty, the long-term effects can be devastating. Consider the most obvious, cheating. In the moment, what one can get away with might seem unimportant, or easily explained away, rationalized, or otherwise justified. But what of the future? Can one guarantee that no adverse events will issue from the dishonest act? Divorce, loss of career, loss of family, loss of trust, loss of self? Honesty is sometimes difficult. It takes courage to be honest, to tell the truth to oneself, to refrain from taking dishonest action. It demands strength to resist amorous advances, to avoid taking that one drink that may lead to many more, and to be upfront with one's sponsor. It is difficult to admit a mistake. It might invite derision and loss of face. But self-esteem is monumental as a badge in the war between good and evil. Honor. Any weapon is a good weapon as long as ye can use it with honor and skill. Brian Jacques. In a duel, would you pull the trigger before your opponent has been able to cock his weapon? In a race, would you sabotage your teammate's horse to have the animal incapacitated, thus leading to your own victory? Honor is the badge of the upright man, the one who wants to win honestly, with evenly paired partners, with equal information. Wall Street, through the Securities and Exchange Commission, has rules regarding what it calls insider trading, where some business principals, lawyers, or accountants are privy to information that the public is not yet aware. It is forbidden for them to trade on such information. These laws were enacted as a matter of honor. We all know of many instances where such laws are broken, and the humiliation and embarrassment brought on by the perpetrators. Just as in a duel, fairness is involved in honor. Restraint, self-control, and adherence to current rules are what promote one's sense of self-respect. Hope. It's really a wonder that I haven't dropped all my ideals, because they seem so absurd and impossible to carry out. Yet I keep them because, in spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart. Anne Frank. Could you imagine life without hope, without a sense of something positive happening even in the face of evil? Tsunamis, earthquakes, typhoons all wreak havoc on the flow of living. On a more personal level, such events as the death of a loved one, loss of a job, even disappointment would be devastating to our souls if they were not mollified by a sense of hope. Even if that silent angel is slow to shine, still we know it exists. We trust its presence, and we have faith in a future that is filled with goodness and peace. Our psychic survival is at stake. Humility. It is unwise to be too sure of one's own wisdom. It is healthy to be reminded that the strongest might weaken and the wisest might err. Mahatma Gandhi. Humility is the companion who nips at your heels to slow your stride as you clamber up the mountain that is your pride. It begs you to remember from whence you came, entreats you to recall your beginnings, the days when the knowledge was not known and your strength was lacking. We are reminded often how little we really know, and the wisest among us realize that. Humor. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Mae West. Almost anything can be humorous, from light-hearted comedy to the deepest, darkest tragedies. Indeed, those that can find the humorous touch in their bleakest moments are reportedly the healthiest. I had always struggled with my weight. When applying for a new insurance plan, the agent took some blood tests to test for HIV. When I panicked at the very thought, my husband reminded me, "Sweetheart, that's one way to get skinny." An awful prospect to be sure, but his attitude was priceless. Phyllis Diller, the great comedian, quipped, "Don't ever go to sleep angry. Stay up and fight." Even in the most oppressively hard conditions, humor can be found or created. Humor is not disrespectful nor irreverent when it is benign and self-deprecating. Only when its motive is to degrade others is it inappropriate. The laughter of little children, who never dwell long on pain or poverty, is a trait to be admired and emulated. Idealism. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. John Lennon. Idealists have a tendency to see things in their perfect, unblemished form rather than realistically. And why not? There are those who would claim that the only way worth living is with both feet on the ground, seeing things as they are, reacting to things as they are, living life aware of all its problems, all the pains and anguish, and all the sadness square on. While such a viewpoint may work in some circumstances, idealism works to assuage that pain and the hope it produces for a far better world. Both reality and idealism are functions of perception and opinion. The Israeli and Palestinians both hold the position that a piece of land no larger than New Jersey belongs to them, and each can quote verses from the Bible, tendering to them the land of milk and honey by God Himself. Each one believes God chose his people. Neither is willing to cede. Yet, is that not an opinion? Could either people consider the possibility, ideal though it may be, that brothers ought to live together peacefully? Idealism is a kind of hope. In the face of sickness, idealism meanders through the grief and fear to offer a glimmer of hope that the sick shall heal. Idealism propels politicians to offer their platforms of a perfect society. Idealism compels a bride and groom to promise everlasting love in the face of an unknown future. Reality has not yet made herself known. Idealism lives alone. Impartiality. In case of dissension, never dare to judge till you've heard the other side. Euripides. It is truly difficult to remain impartial. We are, after all, creatures of emotion and opinion. Whether confronted with news reports on television, reading a book, or listening to a friend, our emotions are necessarily and intricately suffused into the topic. But it is this very difficulty in remaining impartial that is so valuable. Remaining impartial, as difficult as it may be, is essential when trying to maintain objectivity and reason. Whether we agree or not with the issue, when objectivity and neutrality are needed, remaining detached from the topic is essential, and our judgment on the matter then becomes trustworthy. Such stance of impartiality must be consistent over time and situation before trust is bestowed or earned. Innocence. It's simple and trusting like a child, not judgmental and committed to one narrow point of view. If you are locked into a pattern of thinking and responding, your creativity gets blocked. You miss the freshness and magic of the moment. Learn to be innocent again, and that freshness never fades. Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson said it quite eloquently. The innocence of children is manifest in their trust of their surroundings and caretakers. There is no guile in them, no cynicism. Innocence drives them to speak their minds spontaneously, without thought of consequences, because consequence has not yet become imbued into their psyche as an important societal prescription. It is innocence that is the gardener of creativity, the unabashed urge to express oneself without limitations, without prohibitions. Integrity. In the end, you should always do the right thing, even if it's hard. Nicholas Sparks. Integrity is often confused with honesty, and while the two present similar ideals, integrity means something different from honesty, although it is on the same continuum. Integrity means whole, consistent, and congruous. For example, if your deepest ideals conflict with your corporation's culture, you will suffer. If your manager suggests that you bury an erroneous report that you produced because it's not that important, your pride and honor may be violated for letting it slide, for doing less than your best, or indeed for not admitting your error. The result may be a short-term, face-saving device, but the long-term pain will be greater. Integrity demands that you be true to yourself, that you live your life in as congruous a manner with your values as possible. If a friend asks you to alibi for him, would you do it for the sake of friendship? Where do you place your values? On truthfulness or on friendship? And might you not ask, what friend would ask you to compromise yourself? You must be true to your own moral code. Your moral code is like a river that is deep and silent, and flows through all your veins, nourishing you and sustaining you. Violate your principles, and you may suffer sleepless nights, burdened by guilt and anxiety, the fear of discovery, or worse, the knowledge that you went against the immutable truth of your being. Joy. Sometimes your joy is the source of your smile, but sometimes your smile can be the source of your joy. Thich Hat Han. Joy laughs with the children. Joy is unencumbered, forthright, honest, and free. Joy expects nothing more than its own scintillating vibrancy, a luminous sunshine, glittering ocean, the incessant lapping of the shore, and the seagulls flying and squawking on the water. Joy is free and light. Joy delights in the ecstasy of the moment, the thrill of adventure, the infinite pleasure of a song.